Okay, so now let's go ahead and solve this my file server 1, which is released on 21st February 2020, and you can download it from this particular link. So since it is an OBA, I assume it is created with for VirtualBox, right? So I have downloaded it and uploaded to my VMware. This is the one. And if you go to the settings, I need to make it to net because I want to perform attack from my Kali. RAM is slight bit too high, so let's make it 2 GB. Right, that will be sufficient. Cool. Yeah, all set. Now I will power it on and go to my Kali system and then type net discovery. Right. So I'll type net discovery, and since I know it is a range following 192, 168, 233, then something, right? So I'm going to scan for this particular range, so 0/24. But before that, I will wait for the server to on. So it is on now. Let's scan it. Probably we should get, yeah, so 136 should be my target IP address. So let's go ahead and scan this 136 IP address. So I can perform simple nmap hyphen p and p, sorry, and hyphen a 192.168.33.136, right, as 136 only, correct. So it might take some time, so we'll pause here. So let's, before this can get completed, let me tell you these kind of VM are really very common in OSCP if you are preparing for it, and I'm sure this will help you. If not, the approach will. You might not get exact same, but if you apply the method on the approach, I'm sure you will be able to maximum system inside your OSCP lab. Alright, so now the scan is complete and let's see what is the output. So if you see here, port number 21 is open and FTP, it is running BSFTPD 3.0.2. Again, you can search for known exploit. It also has anonymous login, so we'll try and see what we can gather from anonymous login. And also if we see here, port number 22 is open, so there must be something SSH login, right? It is running OpenSSH 7.4. Also you could see SSH host key, so it might be necessary, so we'll see further. And you can see also port number 80 is open, and yeah, so port number 111 445 is open, which is running Samba SMBD 4.9.1. okay, workgroup Samba, that's good. Also 2121 FTP anonymous login is allowed. Great. So it is also running Linux 3.4. Alright, so let's start open our HTTP as usual, right? So I will just take the IP address and open my browser 192.168.136. Okay, it says this is the home page. Again, you press Control U, nothing, right? And you click on the links. Okay, it's taking me to some home website of InfoSec. Alright, so let's me browse robot.txt quickly. Robots.txt, sorry, nothing is found. Let's run our directory buster and our yeah, Nikto to see if we get something interesting. Second, I will type derby and then provide the IP, this host address. Other so also I will run Nikto-h and provide the HTTP service. So it has found CGI bin, which is like 403 unauthorized, and index.html. I'm sure index.html is the same home page, so I can open the link. Yeah, pretty much same home page, nothing more. So let's see what Nikto has for us. So we'll go to Nikto now. Yeah, it's taking some its own time to scan. Okay, so Nikto has found out readme.txt to be interesting one. Also directory indexing is also available. Okay, let's copy this readme.txt and see what is exactly inside it. Okay, alright, cool. So we got some password. The password is root1. Cool, we'll keep note of it. Now let's go back to our nmap scan. So over here we could see the FTP was open. So let's try login FTP. Right, so FTP 192.168.233.136. I will log in as anonymous and see what juicy information I can get. Right, oh sorry, it has failed. Maybe typing mistake. NYMOUS. Okay, successful. I will type PWD. Nothing interesting. Let me come out. Okay, Now let's see what more we can do. So we have also another interesting thing, that is your Samba is open, or SMBD 4.9.1 is open on 445. Let's use SMB map to see what exactly content inside it. So I will use SMB map -h and provide the IP address. So 136. Right, so over here you could see there are different user like SMB user, SMB data, and other things, right? So let's use SMB user. We have already gathered the password, so we'll do this. Port number 22 was open, I guess. So let's log in with SSH, and then we'll log into FTP or something, and then we'll see, right? So SSH, let's say SMB user, and I'm going to say 192.168.233.136, right? Yes, you wanna pay ECDSA keys. Oh, so it has kicked out me, saying that permission denied. Maybe the public key is not what it is expecting, right? So now let's go ahead and log in with FTP to the same SMB user and see what we can gather. 233.136, and let me log in with SMB user, and the password is root1 that we have gathered from web application. Login successful. Cool. So it is taken to my SMB user home directory. Now let's do one thing. Let's generate a public key and put inside here so that we can make sure the SMB user can authenticate using our system, right? So I will say like SSH hyphen keygen, sorry, keygen, right? And yeah, you want to save the file over there. Yes, it is already there. Fine, that's fine. Overwrite it. No passphrase needed. Same passphrase again. So it has generated my SSH keys, right, kept inside id underscore rsa. Now let's go ahead and make directory.ssh. So I will say mkdir.ssh. Okay, the file has been created. Now let's put the particular file or our generated keys. So put slash root, since it's generated inside the root directory.ssh, right? If you could see here, it is being generated in this particular path. I'll close this Nikto id underscore rsa, right? So id underscore rsa dot pub, and let's make it name as authorized 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 underscore keys. Cool. So our put command has run successfully. I'll just come out of it and then try login with our SSH and see whether we are able to log in or not. Now it should be able to. Okay, again permission denied. So let's see what could go wrong. Again, let's log in with this and SMB user, and I will say root1, and let's say pwd. This is the directory. Then cd dot slash ssh. I think I didn't do dot slash ssh after creating the directory, right? So we can say like cd to dot slash ssh. Now change successfully. Now let's here keep our file, because I was keeping inside outside directory. Maybe that could be the reason. So this is the common mistake that you may came across. So I just shown you the right approach what could be done. So again, let's put our key here. So the path will be same, root slash dot ssh, right? And I will be using id underscore rsa dot pub, right? And I will say authorized keys, authorized underscore keys. Cool. So now the file successfully transferred, right, inside this particular path. So let's come out and try SSH now. I hope it should work. Cool. Now our SSH keys has worked and we are able to simply log into our SSH. But now if you see, this is our local shell user, SMB user. Now let's see what we can do to get a root shell user. Again, to perform a privilege escalation, you need more information. So you can go for a different enumeration script. So in one of the script, there is a command like uname, right? Hyphen R or hyphen A, right? So hyphen A I will use. This describes which particular 3.1.02 229.e.sx. Let's copy this and search for exploit. So this particular version is already suffering from one of the exploit known as dirty cow. So let's search it. It might take some time for you to enumerate more and more. So in exploit.db you will get multiple exploits. So let's directly go ahead and use one of the exploit. So I'll just directly type here. So this is the exploit that you will get after searching. So Linux 2.6.22, which is running for dirty cow or risk condition privilege escalation SUID method. So the way you run the exploit or read the exploit, you must go through a particular exploit after getting it. So if it says after getting a shell, you can do this to make shell more stable. Also, it says how you can run. So you can download the exploit and then run gcc cowroot.c and -o, and then you run -p thread, okay, to make sure the execution privilege, and it will directly give you the root shell. So now let's go ahead and download this particular exploit and keep inside our server. So I'll open my terminal. Okay, so always remember, you should always go to a temp directory and then make this download and upload things, right? So I'll make go into temp directory, and then I will say wget. Let me copy the location properly. So let me copy link location. Cool. So, and then provide this particular file and press enter. So it has downloaded. Let's see whether it is there or not. Okay, so cat 40616. Okay, so this is the exploit code. You can verify it again with the same. Okay, cool. Now let's run this particular exploit. So I will just say cp40616 to, let's say, exploit.c. Okay, so next we are going to run using the same method. So we'll use gcc exploit.c -o to exploit, and hyphen again I will make the p thread as per instruction. P thread. Cool. Let's hope it run. Now it has run successfully with a warning, which is fine. Let's see content. So exploit is already available. Now let's go ahead and run this particular exploit, which I have just now compiled. So it has stopped. Excellent. So it has given us the root shell directly, and this is the privilege escalation script that we ran. If I type, this is the user, right? So I can check the path. This is the path I can make to root now, and hopefully I have the flag here. So this is the flag here, proof.txt. Bingo. So this is the flag. So this is the how you can use a known exploit from a particular Linux kernel and use it for your privilege escalation and get the flag.